Unique click-through rate versus click-through rate, unique CPC link clicks versus regular CPC link clicks. What's the difference between these two metrics, and which ones should you be using within your columns to analyze and improve the performance of your meta campaigns? Firstly, I want to start with some definitions. So what's the difference between a link click and a unique link click? A link click, if you're familiar with the terminology of sessions and visitors, you can conceptualize it as a link click is a session, a unique link click is a visitor. And what that means is that link clicks count the total number of clicks on your ad. Unique link clicks only count the total number of unique users who clicked on an ad. And so the difference here is that if I went and clicked on one of your ads twice, I would be counted as 2 link clicks, but only 1 unique link click, because I'm the same user that clicked multiple times, so that's only 1 unique click. And these definitions tie into all of the future slides. So unique CTR is the number of unique link clicks divided by the reach of the campaign. CTR is the number of link clicks divided by impressions. So there's 2 key differences in the formula here. Firstly, the difference between reach and impressions, and you're always going to see this be the case anytime unique is introduced. Anytime unique is introduced into a metric, it suddenly becomes a part of reach rather than impressions. And number of unique link clicks, we defined this in the previous slide, rather than just regular link clicks. Cost per link click, this is spend divided by total link clicks. This is spend divided by unique link clicks. So once again, anytime it says unique, we're referencing either reach or unique link clicks, so unique individual users, rather than the total. So anytime it says unique, it's reach. Anytime it says not unique, so it's not mentioned, it's impressions. Now, there's a relationship here between reach and impressions, which is frequency. So let's say that we reach 5,000 people and we have 10,000 impressions. Our frequency is our impressions divided by our reach, which is 2, which tells us that on average, we're going to serve an ad to each individual user twice. Now, the reason why I'm making this entire video, and the reason why this is actually really important in the way that you set up columns and analyze campaigns, is because frequency is skyrocketing in most accounts at the moment. And this is predominantly due to Advantage Plus, which is heavily remarketing existing audiences, heavily going after existing customers, and not actually going and trying to get incremental revenue increases through new audiences. And so what we're seeing in a lot of accounts is frequency 4 months ago was a 2, a 3 over a 30-day period. And now it's sitting closer to a 5 to a 6. And so it's really important to understand that if frequency goes up, all of your unique metrics start looking really, really strange and start doing weird things and not giving you accurate, actionable data. So let's talk about why that's the case with a real account example. So here's an account, last 30 days of data, spending about 11,000 a month. I've brought in all of the metrics that we've just looked at. We've got frequency here, link clicks, unique link clicks, CPC, unique CPC, CTR, unique CTR. Now, this is a lot of data to look at, so I want to split this down column by column so that we can run through it and you can get an understanding for what's actually going on here. This account has 8.3 thousand link clicks, but only 5,000 unique link clicks. So what this means, the difference between this number, which is about 3,000, is that 3,000 users clicked a second or maybe a third or fourth time on their ads. And so there's only 5,000 unique individual people who clicked on our ads in the last 30 days. But in terms of total clicks, meaning that the same users can click multiple times and we'll count the repeated clicks, there's been 8,300. And so you could divide this however which way you want. You can represent it however way you want. But we could say, for example, that on average, 50% of users click a second time. And that would explain the additional 3,000 clicks there. Is that about 2.5 of these people come back, they click a second time on another ad that's served to them. Moving over to CPCs. CPCs as cost per link click is at $1.29, but when we're doing cost per unique link click, it's up at $2. So these two numbers are very, very different. And the reason why these numbers are different is that the unique is counting this, whereas the regular is counting this. So we're using the larger number, we're counting all the repeat clicks from the same users, and that's why the CPCs look better in this column. Now, in terms of which one you actually want to be optimizing towards, which do you want to be using as a ground of truth, it's dependent on how much new customer traffic you're getting through these campaigns. and it starts to become very specific and account specific. Generally speaking, you want to look at both, and it will give you an idea for how much does it cost to get a new person to our site. And then the other question here is then how much is it costing to get these people back repeatedly if we capture that within the metric. I personally believe that this is a more relevant metric. We want to be understanding how much is it costing to get a user to site, not how much is it costing to get users to site multiple times and counting repeat clicks here. And then we have the metric that really is the reason why this whole video is being created, which is unique CTR. This is where you need to be very, very careful because the metrics are skewed enormously. And you can see that right out of the gates. CTR is 1.31%. Unique CTR is 4%, telling two very, very different stories. Okay, if we see 4% CTRs in an account, we can pretty much straight away go, the ads aren't an issue. The ads are crushing. That's a really strong click-through rate on cold audiences. But if we're looking at CTR, 1.3%, that's okay. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement there. And so maybe we would want future efforts and resources to go towards improving that click-through rate by having better creative that's more conducive to a click. And so the difference between these two metrics is critical. Why is it appearing like this? It's because unique CTR is dividing by reach, CTR is dividing by impressions. And in this account, the frequency currently sits at a 5. And so the impressions are way higher than the reach. In fact, it's 5.3x higher than the reach. And so the metrics start looking incredibly different. Well, in fact, they should look at about 5x different in terms of the number that's represented here. It's important to also understand that because unique CTR equals unique clicks divided by reach, if reach doesn't increase, the unique CTR keeps going up infinitely. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can see the representation here within the data that we're already looking at. The campaigns that have the highest unique CTR also have the highest reach. And this is a direct correlation between all of these numbers. You can start to look through it, right? The next highest CTR is this campaign, which is the next highest frequency. The next highest CTR is this campaign, which is the next highest frequency. Then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. So frequency is directly proportional to unique CTR. And the reason why this is the case is because if the campaign decides to not go out and target new users, reach new audiences, and it just continues to reserve to the same audience over and over again, it's not counted within the calculation for the unique CTR. But if we continue to get more clicks out of the same users, it is counted in the math here. So you can end up in a situation where unique CTR can approach 100%. You can be in a situation at scale, right? You can be spending $10,000 a month and you could technically get your unique CTR up to 100%. As long as the campaign stopped targeting new users and heavily retargeted existing users, that then all of those users started clicking. And so this is a really biased metric if this starts to kick into accounts. Now, we have used unique CTR in the past historically because it's a metric that makes more sense if this isn't happening. If frequency isn't incredibly high, unique CTR is helpful because it's telling us of the users that we're serving to, what percentage of these users are clicking and now becoming a user who has interacted with our brand on site. That's valuable data to have. And so is regular CTR as well. The combination of both of these metrics are really important metrics to understand and use in your analysis to be able to decide how you want to optimize and change the direction of the strategy. However, in this new paradigm in the last 3 to 6 months of frequency and accounts now just shooting through the roof, it's starting to make a lot less sense to look at unique CTRs because this metric is becoming gameable. If it has a direct proportion to frequency, then now we have to look at this and frequency to get an understanding for what's going on. So we're just adding more and more steps in the analysis process when we should be looking at actually just cutting out unique CTR and let's shift our eyes back to CTR linked click-through rate. Now, is that to say that these metrics should never be analyzed? Not at all. You should be looking at every metric all the time. Everything tells a part of the picture. And what you're trying to do is triangulate the truth. And so I'm not saying don't look at metrics, but I'm saying as a North Star click-through rate metric, we're now moving away from unique CTR and we're moving to CTR linked click-through rate due to the fact that frequency is causing all of these issues with the reporting.